Good evening, everybody. It's your friend Vanderlei, initial S, on for the defendant poetry, which is under attack from many plaintiffs. The plaintiff Star Wars junk, Disney junk, Harry Potter junk poetry junk, music junk. All the other distractions in our lives have combined to attack the poor, defenseless poetry, but no longer. We're going to read two poems today that touch on the topic of Christmas. The first is by our friend William Carlos Williams. It's from his book, Pictures from Bruegels. I don't know if I said that right. I'm Dutch enough that I should know a bit more Flemish pronunciation. Anyways, this is from a book that is focused on poems that are having directly to do with paintings by Bruegels. And this painting is called The Adoration of the Kings. From the Nativity, which I've already celebrated, the babe in its mother's arms, the wise men in their stolen splendor, and Joseph and the soldiery, attendant with their incredulous faces, make a scene copied, we'll say, from the Italian masters, but with a difference. The mastery of the painting and the mind, the resourceful mind that governed the whole. The alert mind is satisfied with what it is asked to and cannot do. Accepted the story and painted it in the brilliant colors of the chronicler, the downcast eyes of the Virgin, as a work of art for profound worship. Now, I don't have that painting here to show you. That would be probably smart, but you can Google it. The Adoration of the Kings. And so he references the Italian masters, and as you're probably well aware, these are certain almost genres of painting. There's Madonnas, adoration scenes, depositions, crucifixions, all that stuff. So it's a well-known scene. The three wise men, the babe in arms, the onlookers, the manger, all that good stuff. The downcast eyes of the Virgin as a work of art for profound worship. The thing that stuck with me when I was sort of looking for poems to read on this was obviously a beautiful poem in its own right. I hope you enjoyed. But a thing that I think that we've lost track of in terms of our Christmas, and I'm not going to be a person who bemoans conspicuous consumption and getting stuck in the mall parking lot and running around like a maniac and eating too much food. That's all what it is. That's fine. Not for me to say. For profound worship. For profound worship. What in our lives, what works of art draw us towards feelings of profound worship? Do we even have that capacity? Do you? Be honest. I don't know if I do. I think sometimes you get glimpses of that feeling, profound worship. What's worthy of worship? Much less profound worship. We're torn in so many different directions, aren't we? And again, I'm not necessarily bemoaning that, but it just struck me. Profound worship. The downcast eyes of the Virgin as a work of art for profound worship. So not just the background, the concept of the Virgin, which many, many volumes have been written about, as a work of art for profound worship. Art as a center of spiritual life. So that is a big departure from stuff like Harry Potter, isn't it? Just junk, empty calories. And it is what it is, but it just struck me. That's what art was once. And I'm not going to be one of those guys who says, oh, it was better in the old days. I wasn't around for Bruegels or even William Carlos Williams. I certainly wasn't around for the Italian Masters or the Virgin Mary. That was 2,000 years ago. But carrying on. Church going. So this is from Philip Larkin. Wonderful English poet. Church going. Once I am sure there's nothing going on, I step inside, letting the door thud shut. Another church, matting, seats, and stone, and little books, sprawlings of flowers, cut for Sunday, brownish now, some brass and stuff, up at the holy end, the small neat organ, and a tense, musty, unignorable silence, brewed God knows how long. Hatless, I take off my cycle clips in awkward reverence, move forward, run my hand round the font. From where I stand, the roof looks almost new, cleaned or restored. Someone would know, I don't. Mounting the lectern, I peruse a few, hectoring large-scale verses, and pronounce, "Here endeth," much more loudly than I'd meant. The echoes snigger briefly. Back at the door, I signed a book, donate an Irish sixpence, reflect the place was not worth stopping for. Yet stop I did, in fact I often do, and always end much at a loss like this, wondering what to look for, wondering too, when churches fall completely out of use, what shall we turn them into? If we shall keep a few cathedrals chronically on show, their parchment, plate and pyx in locked cases, and let the rest rent free to rain and sheep, shall we avoid them as unlucky places? Or, after dark, will dubious women come to make their children touch a particular stone, pick simples for a cancer, or on some advised night see walking a dead one? Power of some sort or other will go on, in games, in riddles, seemingly at random. But superstition, like belief, must die. What remains when disbelief has gone? Grass, weedy pavement, brambles, buttress, sky. A shape less recognizable each week, a purpose more obscure. I wonder who will be the last, the very last to seek this place for what it was. One of the crew that tap and jot and know what rood lofts were. Some ruined bibber, randy frantique, or Christmas addict, counting on a whiff of gown and bands and organ pipes and myrrh? Or will he be my representative, bored, uninformed, knowing the ghostly silt dispersed, yet tending to this cross of ground, through suburb scrub, because it held unspilt, so long and equably what since is found, only in separation, marriage and birth, and death, and thoughts of these, for which was built this special shell? For, though I've no idea what this accoutred, frowsty barn is worth, it pleases me to stand in silence here. A serious house on serious earth it is, in whose blent air all our compulsions meet, are recognized and robed as destinies. And that much never can be obsolete. since someone will forever be surprising a hunger in himself to be more serious, and gravitating with it to this ground, which he once heard was proper to grow wise in, if only that so many dead lie round. I'll just leave you to ponder the subtext there. Beautiful wordplay at the very least. You might have noticed there is a certain amount of rhyme, meter going on. It is a beautiful thing, and when we talked in our last poem about the capacity for worship and profound worship, I mean, that's essentially the central theme of this poem. You know, our innate desire and need for these sorts of things, the various shapes they take, and how certain of these, I suppose, degrade and fall apart over time, just like everything else. Anyways, on that somewhat somber note, or should it be uplifting? You tell me. I wish you Merry Christmas. I hope that you spend it with people that you love, and that you get lots of relaxation in, and good time outdoors, and cheer, and even a little sunshine, if that's in the cards. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the new year.